Hello.
Hello! Oh, viewers, it's so good to see you. Honestly, I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
It's been a while since our last upload.
And it's good to see so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been like over 2 months.
It's been 2 months. Oh, wait, well over 2 months, because our last Sandbox upload was even way before that.
It's been 2 months since any upload.
Yes.
And the reason is, Jamie and Jack now live in Scotland. We've spent the last 2 months walking up here with everything we own on our backs, our computers, our video games.
And that's about it, really.
That's about it.
We had to buy some clothes when we got here.
And our furry art, as you can see, proudly displayed above the bed. This is the bed we share here in Openly Beaten New Studios.
It isn't. So basically, we've got some plans for Sandbox moving forward. So for the last couple of eons, we have had to do this digitally due to COVID-19.
Oh yeah, we're back in person.
Yeah, this is the first
That's a big deal.
in-person Sandbox for like a year and a half.
Probably like 2 years.
Possibly even 2 years.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to do Sandboxes, planners anyway, we're going to be able to do Sandboxes more regularly on an actual weekly basis.
More stupidly.
And of course in person.
Yeah.
We are planning to bring back the skits.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened for this episode because we ran out of time. We're also going to be uploading this on a different day to when we're going to be planning to upload it on. But I'm not going to say what day we're going to upload it on in case we never make that day.
Yeah. Start as you mean to go on. Sporadic.
We have ambitions to bring back the drink of the week because we kind of just stopped doing that. But actually, it's a lot of fun.
Well, we have actually already brought back the drink of the week.
That is what. Yeah, it's starting today.
In honour of moving to Scotland, we are drinking a nice, delicious glass of Iron Brew.
Another fun thing
Cheers.
about being able to do this is now we're going to have the same drink to drink because we're literally next to each other. We can just get the drink for the other person.
Yeah, although even when we did them in person, we never drank the same thing as each other.
I like the idea of doing the same drink.
I don't know why we didn't do that before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what? We've only been doing this for 3 years. It takes a while to buff out the kinks. We've got the system down now.
So, I hope you enjoy the podcast portion of this channel. We don't really know how the channel is going to be throughout the next year of us living together. Hopefully, feature-packed and vibrant. But
Probably
at the very least...
playing stupid games together.
Yeah.
Doing stupid videos.
At the very least...
Not stupid.
I think we want to commit to having the weekly podcast because that's something that we can definitely manage.
Well, it's nice and easy.
I don't think either of us really know what we're going to be able to manage once we both start getting into the swing of things here in Edinburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, because we do have other plans, like in our general lives, rather than just living in Edinburgh, not doing anything.
So, anyway...
More to come.
We have spent quite a lot of time on this instruction. Well, we haven't actually really discussed the drink yet. How would you describe the taste of Iron Brew for those who haven't had Iron Brew before?
It was either you or our good friend the other day described it as bubblegum, but orange.
That was myself.
That was you.
And it really is bubblegum, but orange.
It's orange bubblegum. It's a drink like no other, and you can't beat it.
In England, and also like just Europe, it's kind of got this reputation as the Scottish soft drink, and it's like a big thing. Like, oh yeah, this is a Scottish drink, and it's kind of like, oh, they all drink it over here, and you kind of think, yeah, they don't really, because it's weird. And then we went to Lidl on the first shop, and there's a huge stack of Iron Brew.
There was a big stack of Iron Brew.
Oh, okay, maybe this is actually quite popular over here.
That's probably for the students and the immigrants like us.
It probably is.
Iron Brew.
I don't know who really... Well, I've seen plenty of Iron Brew in pubs, like cocktails and stuff.
Fair.
So, Iron Brew,
Iron Brew,
and
everyone.
So...
Starting the Scottish era of Openly Beta.
Yes.
The right way.
I would like to also plug myself and say that I'm planning to do more hitboxes as well. I I put a lot of a lot of time and effort into establishing a new format for Hitbox, and then I only did one episode with the new format with Manny the Mage, and then life got really hectic. So I'm hoping to resurrect the format because I think it was good and it worked. Another thing with the Hitboxes is that compared to the Sandboxes, the Hitboxes take a long time to edit.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So they're only every so often. They're little treats.
Yeah.
So
sprinkled in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug myself and my OnlyFans because they undid the porn ban. So I'm definitely going to be on there soon with some premium content.
Yeah, look forward to that, guys.
Should we start talking about things? Because it's been over 2 months. A lot has happened. We're mainly going to talk about things that have happened in the past week. Because we think that'll be easy to talk about everything that's happened in the past 2 months.
Sandbox is supposedly relevant news. So the relevant news that you would have all seen already, because it happened a few days ago. We did mean to do this Sandbox like 2 days ago, but it didn't happen. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation Showcase 2021.
Yeah.
We are then going to be talking about some relevant games and movies that we've watched and played.
If we have time.
I would definitely like to make time for some of that.
I would like to make time for that. We can blast through some of these.
So, God of War Ragnarok, confirmed to be called Ragnarok. That wasn't actually confirmed, I believe.
It's actually called Ragnarok.
Sorry, until
How dare you.
like when it was revealed in this trailer, right?
Yeah. I mean, before there was the God of War logo and then it said Ragnarok, but people were like, oh, that could just be saying that Ragnarok's happening. But I think that's kind of what it's going to be called, Ragnarok. This is a bold one to start with because I could talk about this for 45 minutes, but I'll keep it brief. You still haven't played the first God of War.
No, I haven't.
I'm going to force you to at some point. I replayed it like over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. Potentially my favourite game of all time. Really looking forward to the next one. The trailer looked great. I really loved it. It potentially showed a bit too much for my liking.
I've heard
A bit spoilery.
from you and Reddit that is the case, yes.
There you go. There's one specific thing at the end. If you've seen the trailer, it kind of gives away kind of a major character who's also a big player in the first game. And it's like, would have been kind of cool if that was more of a surprise.
As in the first game, the first
No, sorry. The first one in this new...
soft reboot.
Yeah. This new trilogy or whatever it's going to be. Because that's another thing.
Yeah.
This is a whole big debate online. Is they said some things about it being the last in the Norse saga. And they said something about setting up the finale in the Norse saga.
What, in this one?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So people aren't sure if this is the last Norse one. I would like it if it was a trilogy.
How could it be a saga with one game beforehand? That's not a saga.
Yeah.
That's just 2 games.
I don't know. The first game itself was a bit of a saga.
3 games is a saga. I don't think you can call it a saga after one game.
It would be a trilogy.
Yeah, I agree. I think there should be a trilogy too.
But saga sounds better than duology.
There's a hell of a lot of Norse mythology that you can dig into.
Yeah, what I would like is if Thor was the big bad in this game and Odin was the big bad in the next game. But
sense.
it looks like this game's going to be really, really long, so it might be cool. And then maybe we'll go to like another mythos in the next game, which would be fun. Yeah, I'm glad we have all the same actors back because the chemistry between Kratos and Boy is really good. And another thing that I won't describe completely because it's, again, spoilers for the first game. In the first shot, they do something really cool when Atreus is bringing a deer in with his silhouette.
Okay.
It's very cool.
I know nothing about God of War.
Yeah.
What I do know is that when I saw Thor in the trailer / released images, I thought that was like one of the coolest interpretations of Thor I've ever seen. Apparently, no one likes that. Apparently, there's like, oh, Thor must look like Chris Hemsworth.
Do you know what the thing is, though?
My first reaction when I saw it was like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I was shocked that nobody liked... Well, that's not true. A lot of people have gone...
See, this is what I was going to say. I've seen way more people complaining about people complaining.
Fair. I've seen a lot of things of Thor shouldn't look like that.
Yeah. Of course there are people
dumb.
complaining because there always are and they're idiots, but
Yes.
I think it is a very vocal minority. Most of what I've seen is people being very excited for the game. Let's just focus on the positives.
Should we talk about...
Spider-Man 2 Venom?
Yeah, but there's a list. I don't think we should talk about all of these games because
No,
there were
but
quite a few games shown at the PlayStation Showcase 2021.
I think we can like quickfire some of these.
Spider-Man 2 has Venom in it. That's it.
Yeah, there wasn't really much more shown.
No.
Spider-Man and Miles Morales are going to work together. Venom's in it. And I think Craven was the voice. So Craven.
There we go.
Fun.
Haven't played Spider-Man 1.
Another one you need to play.
Knights of the Old Republic remake coming to PC 2.
Yeah.
Very, very happy.
I saw a great meme the other day. And I think it was like the Oscars or something. And everyone starts clapping. And then there's one woman who's probably really famous, but I didn't recognise her. And she jumps up and starts clapping and joining in and looking around like she doesn't know what's happening. And it was like everyone talking about Knights of the Old Republic and then me. Because that's me. I've never played Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, no, have I?
Yeah.
I just know it's good. And I probably wouldn't have played the original at this point.
Yeah.
However, although I haven't played the game, and so playing a remake is like playing a new game for me, I don't... Just do a sequel. Why does it have to be a remake?
I would say that if I played the original game, but because I haven't, I'm like, oh, cool, I'll just jump in here then.
Oh, I just wish there was I'd rather there was a sequel.
Do you think if there was a sequel, you'd then play the original game?
Or not even a sequel, just a new game in the same...
In the Star Wars universe.
Style as Knights of the Old Republic. I just a bit like...
Remaked out.
High quality remakes are kind of... just feel like a waste of resources that could be put into a sequel.
Yeah.
And there's also, I can imagine for a lot of people working on the game, this is completely just my take, could be completely untrue, but it must be quite creatively dull to just go through a game and just remake it and make it prettier. That doesn't sound very fun. That's not a very good way of using very talented and creative people.
Yeah. I don't know, they might enjoy that.
My only exception would be something like a PlayStation 1 or older game. Like a
Like the
SNES
Spyro
game.
and Crash trilogy.
I think they are just about acceptable because, well, maybe they're a bit too one-to-one probably. There should be probably a little bit more creative freedom there. But like if this is, I'm going to use this as a very specific example because I really want it to happen.
Yeah.
Would be like a remake of Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Something that's like so old. Or Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
That's such a different. That's a different game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's. I think that's that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We haven't seen any gameplay for Knights of the Old Republic remake. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Too early to judge.
Yep.
Marvel's Wolverine.
Not published by EA.
Not published by EA.
No.
You can tell because EA didn't plaster their name everywhere.
And Jeff Keighley tweeted them. They said, "We make Star Wars games." Do you see that?
I didn't.
He just asked them like, "Are you publishing this?" And they said, their reply was obviously in a really wordy form.
Yeah.
But condensed, it was basically EA makes Star Wars games. So no, they don't. They're not making this one.
Yeah. They make some Star Wars games. Marvel's Wolverine. Didn't see much, but I'm intrigued that it's also made by Insomniac.
Intrigued and like, you know, I mean, I say concerned. I'm not playing this game. I'm not gonna buy a PS5.
Oh.
So I'm concerned just from a observational spectator point of view, because I can imagine that making what was their timeline? Spider-Man was like their like only game
for years.
For ages, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, what they made before that? Killzone? Was there anything in between?
Guerrilla Games.
What did they make?
Insomniac.
I thought they did Killzone.
Oh, Insomniac did a load of... They definitely didn't. That was definitely Guerrilla Games.
Because they did...
It's 100%
they did
Guerrilla Games.
Spyro, and then they did Ratchet and Clank. And then they did something in between then.
But who? Insomniac?
Yeah.
They did VR games.
Did they...
They did a load of VR games. I suppose if they could do Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Oh, they did Resistance.
Oh, that was ages ago.
Not Killzone.
That was like... Surely... Oh, Sunset Overdrive. There we go.
Sunset Overdrive.
Of course.
Yeah.
How could we have forgotten? The very, very memorable, culturally impacting Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah. But even then, and a game called Fuse, whatever that is, that's probably one of the VR ones, maybe.
I think they made a few VR games for some reason.
Yeah, they're making a lot of games now. And they're all very big games.
I guess it's a big studio. I don't know how big they are, but it must be pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
They make bloody good-looking games. So
Like Spider-Man.
yeah.
Yeah. We haven't seen much Wolverine, though. Again, too early to say anything.
It really is. But I think getting Wolverine out there, again, it's interesting that it's a Sony exclusive because they don't even own Wolverine. Which is very interesting. I just think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing a completely separate incarnation of Wolverine that isn't Hugh Jackman and isn't Wolverine in Marvel vs. Capcom or something.
Yeah.
Like an actual Wolverine character-driven
Yeah.
game. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, I mean that could be amazing.
Yeah.
That would very easily could be amazing.
Yeah.
Project Eve. God damn. What's
just
Project Eve?
Project Eve is just like a shooter game with like a load of women. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but like the trailer was basically you play as this protagonist lady, and there's like an evil lady, and Eve I think refers to like the name of the protagonist, no, the antagonist. I think.
I do remember that. I was confusing it with Forspoken.
It actually looks.
Project Eve does look good.
Pretty fun.
Yeah,
to be fair,
it does. Looks like a cool world.
Have you seen Tiny Tina's Wonderlands?
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing a trailer for this or a teaser for this like years and years and years ago.
Interesting.
But I might just be getting confused with the DLC.
I feel like it's so similar looking to Borderlands that.
Well, it's set in the Borderlands world, I think, isn't it?
Well, it's
Because
quite different gameplay wise by the looks of it in terms of.
yeah, but there was a DLC for one of the Borderlands games that was basically this Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And now they've turned it into a full game.
I think that was a DLC for Borderlands 2 potentially.
2.
Yeah, I think so. But this is like completely fantasy though.
Yeah.
Like it takes place.
Well, I say it's set in the same world.
Not in the same world.
It's set in
a
Dungeons
fantasy
and
world
Dragons game within Borderlands world.
I think that the game itself looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
I think potentially too chaotic for my tastes. I think
Fair.
there's a bit too much going on for it to look aesthetically pleasing. But I like what they're going for, and
I think it looks really fun.
I hate Tiny Tina. I hate that character so much.
Oh, fair.
Like her whole narration through the trailer was the worst.
I kind of liked it.
It was really cringe, like super cringe.
Yeah, it's kind of supposed to be cringe. She's like a little girl trying to be a DM.
I just find it cringe.
I quite
in
enjoyed
like all
it.
the wrong ways. It's just like,
I enjoyed it. I like your.
I know it's intentional, but I still just.
I like your notes here. Are Borderlands but crazy? ?
Yep.
As if Borderlands isn't already pretty crazy.
That's the thing, though, right? Borderlands is already at the limit of chaoticness. This is kind of just. They literally told the devs, "Oh, just do anything." Like, literally do anything.
I feel like it's a good direction to take Borderlands in.
Could be good.
Yeah.
My legitimate fear is that it's going to be too wacky.
Fair.
I don't think there's a consistent theme, and I think it's going to be weird.
I'm kind of just excited for it, for the chaotic weirdness, and I think the combat looks fun.
That'll be coming to Steam in 2023, since it's an Epic exclusive for a year.
Very nice.
Or 6 months maybe, but I think it's a year.
So I may never play it.
Moving on.
Forspoken.
What was Forspoken.
I was really surprised by the story of Forspoken.
I know.
I didn't expect it to be that at all.
We got obviously the initial trailer when it was called something else.
Yeah.
Completely, you just thought, it was a fantasy apocalypse thing.
Yeah. It's like,
completely out of nowhere.
And this woman's transported from the real world.
Main character looks absolutely sick.
Yeah, she looks cool.
Like she looks actually like a normal person reacting to things in like a way that wasn't annoying. It was like this is actually a human being.
Although one thing I will say, similar to what you said about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I thought the dialogue was really bad in the whole Forspoken trailer.
I thought it was a little bit bad.
I didn't think the performances or anything were bad. I just thought the actual writing of the lines itself was really bad.
Yeah, sure. Maybe.
Like a Ubisoft game.
Maybe.
But the game still looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of cool to have a plot where it's just a normal person transported to a weird fantasy world. I haven't seen that in a little while.
Not in a game.
No.
It happens all the time in movies. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know when it's coming out.
I hope the
But
world...
like ages away, right?
I think so still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the world is like huge. Or at least dense.
I can't...
Because she's got so many crazy like navigational powers.
I guess if it's fun to move around, it's going to be a game where they can get away with it being potentially too big. But it's okay because you can traverse it so fast.
Yeah.
And fun, more importantly. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm excited for Spoken.
Uncharted 4 is coming to PC and PS5.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
That they're not releasing the original trilogy as well.
Yeah.
Because it's already on PS4. So it shouldn't be too much of a hassle just to port it to PC.
Yeah, especially if they're already doing it for this.
Yeah.
For Uncharted 4. Yeah.
So it's kind of... Obviously, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
Still, I kind of feel like I need to play the original trilogy first. But...
I didn't play the original trilogy before I played Uncharted 4.
Interesting.
I played Uncharted 4 first. I already kind of knew the whole story of Uncharted though.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get it just because I've already played it, and like it holds up on PS4.
If you played it first, then I might give it a go. I won't buy it if it's like that's just like a £20 buy for me.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
They can't. They might release that full price, in which case I'm not going to get it.
Yeah,
but we'll see what goes.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to talk about this one.
Oh yeah.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
It's weird.
I've played like a bit of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep.
And that's kind of it for me. Everyone is like fuming
I know.
about this game.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun when you're like completely detached from a fan base and you look in at something like this.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because from my perspective, watching that trailer, it was like... Again, limited experience with Rainbow Six Siege, that's it. But it literally looked like the Rainbow Six Siege gameplay
with monsters,
inexplicably with monsters. It was kind of like it was quite jarring seeing them do like a breach, and then a monster was behind the wall. It just seemed like two different genres.
It did,
almost. Yeah.
And my understanding of Rainbow Six is you have to be kind of stealthy and tactical. But then it looks...
more tactical than stealthy.
Yeah, I guess tactical would be the word.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it also looks kind of shoot-em-uppy because there's just these crazy monsters everywhere.
Yeah.
It did look very clashy from my limited understanding.
Yeah.
I saw some very funny comments.
Oh, yeah?
People like, I don't remember Tom Clancy writing this in any of his novels.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why people would be annoyed about this because they just want a new... tactical Rainbow Six game.
Yes.
And then they get monsters. And I saw some people saying like this should just be like a game mode within the bigger game. And I think I can kind of see why you would prefer that.
I guess
like a Call of Duty Zombies thing.
I guess we'll just see if them focusing on that as the main gameplay mode is going to pay off.
Yeah.
It might be really interesting. It's certainly different. We've already got Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes something different.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the look of it, but
yeah.
I am intrigued.
Yeah, I guess so.
It doesn't look like a bad game. It just looks like it's a bit mixed and messy.
Yeah, it does look a bit messy. It is interesting. Let's see if it just leads to the whole franchise going in this wacky direction.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious.
Alan woke up again, and then... Do you want to have anything?
Alan did wake up again.
Do you want to have anything? I have nothing to say about Alan Wake Remastered.
I have nothing to say about Alan Wake Remastered, except I've never played Alan Wake, so I might play Alan Wake Remastered.
It's a good looking remaster.
It is.
It's definitely on the upper end of my remaster scale.
I thought you might like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to play Alan Wake. It looks pretty good.
I can't believe they showed GTA 5. That is... And not only did they show GTA 5, they delayed it. Like, why? Why do they delay it?
It's the new Skyrim.
But there'll be a Digital Foundry video when it comes out, and they'll be like, here's why it looks better.
Yeah.
But really did not look that much better from what I can remember of GTA 5.
No.
So why is it taking so long to get it on PS5? What could they possibly be? It's on. I don't get it. Just put it. Just literally, no one cares about GTA 5.
Jamie.
Just put. No, I'm done.
I don't know. Seamless character transitions.
Oh. Yeah, seamless character transitions, and then just shows what was absolutely not a seamless character transition. It was like, that took a while. That's not seamless.
You know what they need to do? They need to add a fishing mode like Skyrim.
Don't. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because all they need to do, and it's not even like, oh, the bare minimum and fans will just have to deal with it. No. No one wants GTA. The fans want GTA 6. So, okay, fine. You get your GTA Online on PS5. Port the PC version, like just max graphics, everything. 60 FPS, 4K, bam, that's it. No one who wants to play GTA on 5 on PS5, no one who wants that wants any more than that.
Yeah.
Just a quick and dirty port would satisfy the people who want that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
John, I don't get it. GTA 5 is still one of the like best-selling games.
Yeah.
Who still doesn't own it? Do you know what I mean?
Shall I tell you who?
Who?
13-year-olds. My brother, as in last month, brought GTA. He's playing GTA Online right now.
That's a really funny thought. It's
That's
just new kids who are growing up and buying it for the first time.
Every single year.
Yeah.
Every year there's a new threshold of kids, and GTA has this big reputation still of, oh, it's really bad, it's really naughty, and the parents are kind of like, oh, I can't play it. And as soon as kids get to a certain age threshold where they can convince their parents to get it, in comes another whole year's group of kids buying this game.
That's literally what happens to me as a kid.
Every year.
It's going to be like Mr. Brightside. It's just never going to leave the charts until GTA 6 in 2030.
GTA 5 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are absolute juggernauts. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Like, literally, those two games are consistently right at the top every single month.
Yeah. There's no end in sight.
I don't really want to talk about Gran Turismo 7. I don't really care.
No.
It's coming out next year in
It
March.
looks really good. I've only ever played like one Gran Turismo game and I don't remember what one it was. But yeah, this looks really good. That's all I have to say about it.
At this point, I'll be honest with you, car games have looked photorealistic for a long time.
Yeah.
There's nothing... don't get me wrong. So I want to play Forza Horizon 5 when it comes out.
Yeah.
That'll be like my first foray into that franchise.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about the mechanics of these games because I don't play them very often. So you might be watching this Gran Turismo 7 and be like, they have this now. But purely from what from my small brain of cars, it's just like, that's another photorealistic. There's nothing else they can do in terms of that.
Yeah.
Like there's.
In terms of graphics.
Oh no, yeah. But then I feel like I don't know what Gran Turismo is just racing and stuff. I feel like as long as you're constrained to a DualShock 5 controller, how much more can you do for a driving sim?
Yeah,
surely you need the whole setup.
I mean, for me, I just think the customization and the array of tracks and stuff looks very cool.
I'm just surprised that
I like the customization
of the money. I'm surprised that they don't adopt a Microsoft Flight Sim. Kind of, I mean, honestly, they could do that from now on.
Yeah.
It should be like, here's your Gran Turismo for the next. They kind of do that, but they don't update the game. So, like Microsoft Flight Sim is like, I mean, this is not. You're not going to get better than this for a very long time.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And we'll add stuff every single year.
Yeah.
For like 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they don't go that route.
Yeah.
But I don't know a lot about car games, so...
Yeah, I'm not too surprised because you can just release more games.
But they don't know, do they?
I suppose not. Maybe that makes it better. They spend all their time working on the next one.
Flight Sim,
yeah,
they'll charge you £100 for a beautifully recreated Boeing whatever. So they could do the same thing with Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
for the Die Hard fans.
That's
here we
true.
go. Here's this car.
I mean, the only other thing I really want from a car game is like crazy physics, like Wreckfest.
But that's a different genre, though,
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
So
But, yeah, I mean...
I'm spewing a load of
That's
rubbish
the
because
only-
I appreciate that actually Gran Turismo 7 could be really good for all I know.
Yeah, I think it will be.
You know what I want? Sorry, speaking of cars,
Yeah.
I want Motorstorm to come back.
Yeah? That's
Motorstorm.
been gone for a long time.
hmm
Was the last one of those, like, 15 years ago?
No, not 15 years ago.
When was it?
I mean, there was a game that came out like 6 or 7 years ago.
Was that really?
Well, when did Motorstorm Apocalypse come out? That was the last one. That came out tail end of PS3. So,
I
alright,
thought that was
9
like-
years.
That was like mid-2000s.
Like 8, 9 years.
Fair
No,
use.
definitely not. But the original Motorstorm came out mid 2000s.
Fair.
Then there was Motorstorm Pacific Edge. There was
Yeah.
an Arctic one, which I think was on PSP, and then Apocalypse, which was the last one they did.
I think Pacific Edge was the last one I played.
Yeah.
I don't think I played Apocalypse.
So
So that might be why my time interpretation
maybe.
is skewed.
just gonna quickly Motorstorm.
Yeah.
That game
Mm.
just needs to exist on a powerful modern console.
Yeah.
It just could not run on the PS3.
Mm.
That game, Apocalypse, was far, far too ambitious
Yeah.
for what the hardware could do.
Mm.
That game was insane, but it absolutely chugged.
Yeah.
Split screen was just ridiculous. Like,
Mm.
it was literally a blurry mess, and it was a framey mess, and it was like... But I reckon you could port that, just straight up port it to PS5,
Mm.
and that would very much still be a very, very good game,
Mm.
which would hold up amongst other racing games.
Yeah.
It's so good, Jack. I love Motorstorm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe one day. Motorstorm Apocalypse Remastered.
but the first game
Mm.
was like an absolute incredible showcase of the PS3 when it came out.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I remember playing that game like, this is,
Next gen.
oh my god, this
Yeah.
looks incredible. And it was,
Yeah.
and on top of that, it was really good, like a
Mm.
really fun game.
Mm.
But then obviously that was in a desert, and they started adding like everything. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. That was us not talking about Gran Turismo 7.
I can't remember what that is.
Tachia.
Oh, it was. No.
Oh, I think it looks really good.
I know you would.
It's
Go
a really
on, talk
cute
about
game.
Tachia.
I mean, it just looks like Mario Odyssey meets something else.
Yes.
Moana. Yeah, it's just like a little cartoon platformer where you like inhabit animals and explore some Polynesian island. Cute little platformer.
Yeah.
Don't know much about what the actual game is going to be, like the
No.
story or whatever. But you know, the graphics and the physics and stuff look fun. Ghostwire Tokyo.
It's really cool, doesn't it?
Ghostwire Tokyo does look cool. Again, I was hoping it'd be more, less action, more horror.
Same.
But it looks quite actiony.
It does.
I was hoping for a bit more of a like Silent Hill,
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
like
it's
early
very
Resident
actually.
Evil
Yeah.
vibe. But I don't know. The monsters look really cool, and the whole like world and stuff looks cool.
Yeah. I think
And little hand actions.
there's a possibility that it'll be like a solid 7 out of 10 game.
Yeah.
Is it? I think it's Game Pass. I can't remember.
I don't know.
If I can't be because it's PS5, isn't it? So
Fair.
it's one that I want to get, but it'll probably be like a chunky sale. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably just see what public opinion is when it comes out.
Yeah.
It might appeal to me. It might not.
Guardians of the Galaxy does not appeal to me.
No. It looks
It's so weird.
more like the Marvel Avengers game than the Marvel Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That's just my scale of how I rate any new Marvel game that's coming out.
It is obviously made by Crystal Dynamics, so that is the same engine, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even just in terms of gameplay and fun.
It looks really basic.
Yeah, and they still like barely showed any gameplay.
It comes out like next month.
Yeah, you saw like
How?
a tiny amount of combat in that trailer, and that was it.
There was a lot of walking around and dialogue and not staged.
Cutscenes,
Not cutscenes either. Just
like quick time events sort of things. Is that what you
like
mean?
strong hand holding. Yeah, quick. I guess quick time events.
yeah.
And, But what is the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw Star-Lord do one dodge shoot attack, and not much else. It's like, what's the gameplay?
It's a very weird
Can I
game.
play as other Guardians
Also,
or just Peter Quill?
I don't understand. I don't understand how they've managed to just chuck this out after seemingly spending so much money on Avengers.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's
And
very soon afterwards.
very soon after, and I'm surprised that that wasn't like a DLC for the Avengers game.
Yeah.
It
That's
kind
another
of feels
thing.
like an expansion to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, especially because it doesn't look that big.
No.
It's really weird. And again, a Guardians game could be really cool. It could be like Ratchet and Clank sort of style, where you just have a ship and you fly to different planets.
The Guardians game that we would both want would take that's a once in a generation game. That is a proper hire for 6-year job.
Yeah.
Which it isn't.
Not being
clearly
pumped out by Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, but I don't understand because Crystal Dynamics were just like Tomb Raider, years and years and years, Tomb Raider, years and years and years, Tomb Raider, and then
Marvel.
somehow they've managed to pump out 2 Marvel games, one which is a diabolical mess.
And the other one looks like it also will be.
I don't like their faces either.
Yeah, I don't think the animation on the faces is very good, or just the design. Also,
So that does not get the Jack and Jamie opening beta official seal of approval.
Also, the jokes weren't funny.
Jokes were not funny. The jokes were not funny.
No. Didn't like it.
It's like Rocket Raccoon says, makes like a bum joke, and it's like he didn't actually make a bum joke, but that's kind of the humour
Peter
it was.
Quill shots himself.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we're done talking about what we want to talk about for the PlayStation 2021.
Can I say one thing I
showcase.
was sad that didn't show up?
Yes.
Stray.
They showed that recently though.
Yeah. I wanted more Stray.
Stray looks like a Plague Tale Innocence but you're a cat and it's a different. Obviously, when I say that, clearly different setting,
Yeah.
different game, but it kind of has that kind of same sort of similar gameplay.
Yeah.
But you're a cat.
Yeah. And there's
Which
robots.
is really appealing.
I'm excited for Stray. That was the PlayStation showcase.
Actually, this was the Sandbox.
Was it the Sandbox?
No, it wasn't. It was just terrible. A joke.
That was less funny than the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
It was a bit. We have now done the news wrap up.
Yeah.
There was definitely more news in the last week, but that is enough for this episode.
We're keeping it PlayStation.
We're now going to talk about what we've been watching and playing.
Yeah.
I would.
Do you want to briefly talk about New World?
I really want to talk about New World.
Talk about New World.
I'll be as brief as possible.
Please. You can talk about New World for as long as you like. I've yet to play New World. Jamie has played New World.
Yes. New World had an open beta this weekend.
Oh, no.
And yes.
Yeah.
So it's a very intriguing game.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. So from the offset, this is a £35 game. So bear that in mind. It's a lower end price, which I really like.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lower price game.
Yeah.
It's made by Amazon. First of all, I enjoyed the beta.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of words how to describe this. It kind of felt a bit corporate.
Okay.
Kind of.
There was Amazon product placement everywhere.
No, but it felt to me, even though I'm sure the Amazon Games devs are devs, they're not suits, they're devs.
Yeah.
But it felt weirdly like here's an MMO game. It didn't have a
heart.
It had an identity.
Yeah.
But it didn't have it wasn't a strong identity.
Yeah. It was like a default MMO sort of thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It had glimpses of like some really cool, unique stuff. Like there's like these areas you can go into which are like being taken over by some like dark evil energy.
Yeah.
I didn't really pay attention to the story because I didn't want to spoil it for when I play it when it comes out. But that's kind of cool. That's definitely unique.
Yeah.
And then there's these guys that have these cool like face armor stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
It feels like it leans. The general vibe I would say is. That's the Iron Brew. Pardon me.
How rude.
It's like a generic MMO, but the gameplay is definitely not generic MMO.
It's cool.
Very much an action RPG.
Okay.
You dodge, roll, you block. It's not like an MMO where you're queuing up for commands.
Yeah.
There are commands, but not many that you can queue up that have a cooldown on.
Cool.
The game, like any other action RPG, has loads of different weapons. Loads actually. It's quite surprising how many weapons there are.
Yeah.
And they all have their own skill tree.
Cool.
And you have stats that you put points into.
Yeah.
More like an RPG than an MMO.
Yeah.
There's PvP.
Yeah.
As in straight up, just go up to someone and just start attacking them. PvP.
Yeah.
If you want it, you can turn that off.
Cool.
And
that's quite nice.
Choose a faction to join.
Yeah.
There are 3 factions, I can't remember. But they're basically like, from what I can tell, pirates, religious, Imperials or something. I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah. And the factions are really, really cool. This is where it's like, actually, this is a good game. And this is where I was kind of getting a little bit excited.
Yeah.
So there's a constant PvP faction area control element throughout the entire world map. By the way, the world map is freaking huge.
Very nice.
Like, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's like zoned off into different zones. And factions can take control of zones by participating in smaller, like, little quests, like fetch quests, gather quests, kill this, blah 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 sort of things.
Yeah.
But also large 50v50 like faction control
wars. Yeah.
Which I didn't get to play because that's endgame content.
Okay.
I've watched a few videos on it.
Yeah.
It was sick.
That sounds really
it's
cool.
Really cool. And the fact that it's an action RPG means it actually is quite fun.
Yeah,
You're not just like sitting there and pressing buttons.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff. And the weapon variety means there's all sorts of cool things happening.
Yeah.
If you manage to control an area and a town, your faction gets to do stuff. And I think the way it works is that the area is then under a faction's control, but then specifically under that, a prominent guild within that faction who was involved in the taking over of that area will then have full control over the economy on the town that's in that area.
Yeah.
So they can set like taxation rates. And I think it's specific for different factions as well. And like the price of housing, you can buy houses, how much just how much things cost in that town.
Yeah.
And kind of give it their own little flavour.
That is really cool.
Which is so unique.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never seen
a really
anything
cool
like
concept.
that. The entire economy is player based. There's no NPC to buy stuff off of.
Yeah.
It is 100% player driven.
That sounds really cool.
So you can chop down trees, which physically drop, fish, mine, etc., and plug all that into the economy and sell it, and hope that people buy it. So cool.
Man.
Really cool idea.
Yeah.
That is the kind of the promise of New World.
Yeah.
And
that sounds surprisingly cool and unique.
Yes.
Because I was expecting it to just be corporate, like you said.
It feels like some very, very cool ideas that it needs time. They have to release it now.
Yeah.
They can't delay it again.
Yeah.
And I think they should release it, and I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
It's a game that they need to stick with.
Yeah.
And improve over time. Give it more of an identity. And I think it could be really special.
Yeah.
Like, I think they just need to have the game release and then start taking some feedback in from players and just continually update the game.
Yeah.
Because there's something really good there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of potential in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see.
Very cool.
That's that.
That's one I might even jump into.
It's £35 and there's no subscription fee.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you say, it's good to jump into an MMO at this sort of point.
Yes, it is.
When people are just everywhere playing it.
The beta was really funny because there are players everywhere, which technically, if you were to think too hard about it, it's immersion breaking because you're like supposed to be like this sole survivor from a shipwreck.
There's thousands of
Obviously,
people there.
when you're in a town, you like meet with other people. It's fine, but the initial starting area, you're in a shipwreck. It's like there's like 100 people right here, and they're just
so funny.
running around shooting boars. There's guns. There's muskets as one of the weapons.
That is very cool.
It's so cool.
Oh man, yeah, I want to jump into this.
You should.
Good job, Amazon. Jeff Bezos.
But
You've done it again.
in my eyes, it's an addictive game, by the way. I could see myself getting addicted to it.
Yeah.
For £35, you're going to get even though it is a little, again, it's kind of just the whole presentation is a little bit corporate, but you can definitely get £35 worth of entertainment out of this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
Fair. That was our advertisement for New World.
Tell us about 12 minutes.
12 minutes. It's an indie game that Jamie and I played. It stars Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, and James McAvoy. And it's a little time loop game where you play as James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley is your wife, and Willem Dafoe is coming to murder you both. And you've got to try and stop him from doing that and solve the mystery. And we played it. We had a lot of fun playing it. We got very frustrated playing it. It's interesting. It's really hard to describe because there are times when it felt very low budget.
Yep.
We encountered, how much was it? Was it like £12? £20?
Oh, well, the game is £20.
You played it on
But we got it on Game Pass.
on Game Pass. It's £20. We found a couple of like missing, I don't even know, animations where it came up like gun shatters glass.
Yes.
Like stuff like that, which is a bit disappointing in
And
a
like
£20 game.
And also just, like textures of the shattered glass.
Yeah.
There was no shattered glass. It was just,
Stuff like that. And there was some kind of immersion breaking moments and janky dialogue and actions and stuff. But then you're reminded that the cast is James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe. You can only assume it's a passion project because I don't know how. I mean, it is Annapurna Interactive. Like, they're a pretty big indie studio at this point. But it's like, surely they can't afford these three unless it's like.
Unless that is where the money went.
Unless it's where the money went.
Because it is not. That is not a £20 game.
No. I'd rather pay like 10, 15 at a major push pounds for that game.
Consider. Would it be spoilers to describe where you can go in the game?
I don't think so.
It takes place in a very small flat.
Yeah, no, I think
Exclusively.
that's just the whole premise of the game. You're in one flat, and there's not a whole lot you can interact with.
There really isn't.
But which I guess is good because otherwise it would go on forever if you had loads to interact with. But there's a few things that you can interact with that don't actually do anything, or some of them are kind of hints as to the actual mystery in the story. There's a few things where it feels like you should be able to do things but you can't. There's a lot of stuff like that. Overall, I did really enjoy the story. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the ending, but I thought it kind of made sense to go that direction.
I enjoyed the story.
Especially in hindsight.
Yes. I did enjoy the story. It just... You, unfortunately, just get very, very bored of hearing the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, we had to use a guide 2 or 3 times.
There's a part of the game where you just... Honestly, it's not like, oh yeah, big brain, skill, fun puzzle solving. It's just straight up luck.
Yeah.
Whether you found it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty happy with where we use guides because I think the times where we used the guide, it was kind of unreasonable to expect you to figure that things out. It's like doing things a weird amount of times or doing things at really specific moments in really specific combinations.
Also, there are things where considering there are quite a few items that actually do nothing, that you can do stuff with, but they actually do nothing. Sometimes you got to bring back items that you used earlier on, way later in the game, which you wouldn't necessarily think to do. And after you've spent like literally, 2 hours kind of bashing your head against the wall, you're just, I don't know. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I would have liked a little more, either more ways to get to certain points, or just more hints about how to get to certain points through the dialogue and stuff.
I think considering how small the environment is and the cost of the game, they should have accounted for multiple ways to do certain aspects of the story.
Yeah. Or just provide more endings, like earlier on or whatever.
It needs to be more branching, and it needs to not penalise you for not doing things exactly perfectly as they say you should do it.
Yes, because that's another issue. Is sometimes if you do things slightly wrong, you have to reset the whole day again.
Okay.
And then you just don't want to experiment too much, but then you have to experiment.
Yes, exactly.
In times, you have to experiment with the murderer, and you're used to him just killing you immediately if you experiment with him.
Yeah, I was exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
With the murderer, you just... It's so frustrating because it's... Obviously, the dialogue is illogical. Like, clearly the game it's just in a scenario that they hadn't accounted for. And so you think things are going fine, and then you will say a line of dialogue or click something by accident, or you want to do something and then your character doesn't respond in the way that you actually want them to.
Yeah.
And that literally will result in just...
Yeah.
And you've then got to just do
it
the
again.
exact load of events so many times.
There was one moment where Jamie tried to hand someone a knife and then accidentally stabbed them. Because that's all you can do with a knife, is stab people. Yeah. It was a lot of fun overall. I enjoyed the presentation. The voice acting was really good. I thought Daisy Ridley particularly was really good. So I don't think I've heard her do an American accent before.
Yeah.
She was completely unrecognisable.
I don't know. I just straight up see no reason why they had to get Daisy Ridley and James McAvoy in.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe had a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't a passion project, if they really did actually spend a lot of money getting these guys in, all they needed was Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in my opinion. Because, like you said...
You couldn't tell it was them. You couldn't tell it was James McAvoy either.
That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, that's a good thing insofar as they're actors, and that means they're good at acting. I just don't think that added anything to the game at all for me. Except for Willem Dafoe, which was brilliant every time he said something.
Yeah. It was the selling point.
Yes.
Was why they did it. Yeah, so fun at times, frustrating at other times. I think that's basically it, isn't it?
Yep.
Not much more to say.
I would certainly recommend you don't buy the game. Like, do not do that. Do not buy the game.
Get it on Game Pass.
If you've got Game Pass, it's definitely worth checking out. The first couple of hours are really fun. And, you might be luckier than us and do the right things before we did. But just, I don't know. I guess this goes with all games, but as soon as you stop having fun, it's just, maybe just don't finish it.
Look up the ending. There were some contingencies that were very cool. It's like, they planned for that, and then other things they just didn't.
It's surprising how sometimes we were actually like, wow, I can't believe they did that. And then other times it's just, how did they not do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very one way or the other. Do we have time to talk about Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
We saw Shang-Chi at the cinema, and we both absolutely loved it.
Yeah. It was a very good movie.
Yeah, really good action scenes, really great fight choreography. I'm pretty sure the fight choreographer was one of Jackie Chan's team, so that's why it was so good. And I'm pretty sure he died a few months before it came out, and they dedicated the film to him, which was nice. Because I feel like he absolutely had a big impact on what made that film so good, because the choreography was just so good. Yeah, I enjoyed the story. It felt a bit different as far as a standard Marvel origin story goes. It was like, a bit more fun.
I'm trying to...
It felt more like a kung fu movie than a Marvel movie to me. Apart from the odd Marvel moments they have to sprinkle in there.
which is a good thing
Mm.
because more variety is exactly what Marvel needs.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think of negatives
Mm.
because I really enjoyed the movie,
Mm.
but I feel like, and I'm trying to think of examples to back up what I'm about to say. I do.
You're talking out your ass, basically.
There were certain aspects which were slightly leaning on the whole Marvel origin story
Mm.
tropes. I can't put my finger on what it was though, but there's something that I didn't stopped it from being like amazing.
Mm.
It was, for me, it was very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
I think there was just I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I can't either really.
Just certain aspects of the story didn't
I know what
click
you're
for me.
talking about. No, that's fair enough.
And certain timings of certain events just felt not perfectly paced. Maybe
Fair.
I'm being very critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do spoilers?
Nah, it's too new.
Okay, that's fair. There's
Oh, well.
some very fun Marvel characters in it. Like one specifically, who's like,
That's not a spoiler. Everyone knows that. Yeah.
do they? I didn't know it was going to be in it.
Oh.
Oh, I'm talking about a different one.
Oh. There was a character that was really, really good that
Yeah.
you're gonna love, who was way more significant than we both thought.
And who, yeah, you wouldn't really think would even be in it, but it was really good. Let's not say any more because I'm thinking of things to say, but they're all kind of spoilery.
I'll say something that isn't spoilery.
Yeah.
It was a really good anchor into the rest of the MCU that
Yeah.
brought the film, because the film on the whole
Mm.
could have not been an MCU movie,
Mm.
which again that's a compliment.
Yeah, yeah.
As a good thing.
Mm.
It was a good movie, and it's good that it was different.
Yeah.
And I wish, I think there was a lot of homogenation
Mm.
of some of the older MCU movies where they kind of bled into this one big soup of Marvel superhero movies.
Yeah.
I feel like some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Having it be distinctly different was good,
Yeah.
but there is a character that is like, cool. This
Yeah.
is very much still in the MCU,
Yeah.
and we both absolutely love. We eat that up.
Everyone in the cinema loved it.
Oh yeah, everyone loved it. Everyone was
Yeah.
like cracking up.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was great.
Maybe that's too much.
I don't think that's too much.
Okay.
It was a funny character. Yeah, I think even just it being set in San Francisco just made it feel a bit different.
Yep.
Rather than just it being set in like New York again. Yeah, it was cool. It was very, I imagine, I'm white as you can tell, but it was very good Asian representation throughout the whole film. Not just in terms of, I don't know, crazy kung fu masters, but in terms of just people living in San Francisco who are Asian.
It was good.
The friend character Katie I thought was really good.
Yeah, I thought
didn't even...
She was... Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, I said this to you afterwards, I didn't realise she was played by Awkwafina until like halfway through, even though she's not wearing any makeup or anything, it's just Awkwafina. I was like, oh yeah.
She was really funny, genuinely, and I thought that she actually... That kind of character sometimes can risk being annoying.
Definitely.
I didn't think she was annoying.
I thought she was going to be at
There
first.
She was walking a fine line.
Yeah.
But she just kind of... The things that she said were, like, believable.
Yeah.
Like, she'd say things like, I can't, like, that just happened. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I think the way she acted it, just, she was extremely believable as a side character.
Yeah.
It was very good.
She was really good. And the chemistry between her and the main character, Shang-Chi, was really good.
It was actually brilliant.
And we were very happy that they didn't go romantic with it.
They hinted, there was like almost like a hint of
romance,
going into a romance at the end, and my interpretation of that was them going, see, not everyone has to fall in love at the end.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked it.
I really hope they stick to that.
They did mention it at the beginning of the movie as well. They were like, when are you going to get married?
But again, I think that was just a good kind of, I don't know, Asian stereotype representation of the Asian grandma being like, you two have to get married because you're a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just any grandma, I guess.
Kind of. Yeah, that was, really, really like their characters.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all very good. Some pretty good little twists and turns.
The main villain, I loved. I thought it was great.
Yeah, cool. I know what you meant. I kind of interpret that in two ways.
I know.
Yeah.
I just thought he was great. That was a way more grey villain than what they sometimes do.
Honestly, one of my favourite like MCU villains in an individual film.
To be honest, yeah.
Like outside of a team up movie, he's probably one of the strongest ones.
Marvel villains are usually very weak.
Yeah.
And he was definitely not. He was brilliant.
They've definitely improved recently, I think. But yeah, he was really, really good. I think it was a highlight for me.
And like
Hong Kong star
Tony
Leung.
I'm getting more hyped about him the more we talk about it because I really like that character.
Yeah.
Like he nailed. He was violent.
Mm.
Like I just believed him as a character.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. And there's a great fight scene at the beginning, which is it's filmed like just a dance. Like it's just genuinely beautiful.
That one, I thought you meant right at the beginning. And I was like, it was just straight up Dynasty Warriors.
No, that's what I mean. What, in the forest?
No.
Oh.
In the field.
In the field?
Like with Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, sorry, you mean the very beginning. Yeah. That was very Dynasty Warriors. I mean...
The forest fight scene was fantastic.
Forest fight scene with Tony Leung and I don't remember the woman's name.
No.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It was really great. It was just like very flowy and fun. And then there's obviously the bus scene that appeared in all the trailers.
The bus scene was incredible.
Action scenes.
Again, Kate's reaction to it was so realistic. She was like, literally, I mean, obviously it's an unrealistic scenario, blah, 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 but she was literally like, ah!
Yeah. And there's also the fun thing, if people could be surprised by things, but because they exist in the MCU, and they address like Thanos and stuff in this film.
They do.
Which I think is a nice... That's how much I want it to be tied in, for them to address crazy life-changing events like that. And like
they've done that a lot
else.
recently with the TV shows and stuff. They've kind of got that out of their system a bit.
Yeah. But because of stuff like that, it's like people can kind of quite quickly adjust to things in a more believable way.
Yes.
Because they're like, well, now we know all this crazy stuff exists. Like, that is fact.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's fun. They did that in Spider-Man Far From Home. There's a line where he's like, well, you know, Thor used to be a myth, and now we learn about him in physics. It's like, yeah, okay, we're at that point. Very fun film, would recommend. I think that's all we've got time for.
I think that's a wrap.
That is a big chicken Caesar wrap.
That was the first Sandbox episode. We don't know, we haven't looked, but it's a big number now.
It's a big number.
And as we said,
we hope you enjoyed our grand return.
Yeah. And we'll just see where it goes.
Wish us luck. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.